they had concerns about the municipal court system, applied for a grant. And we received that grant. Other institutions and other agencies in St. Louis applied for the same grant, Washington University. We submitted a very good proposal that would look at the global situation, look at the different, well, the different
regional situation.
Regional, well, but the disparities and the way the different courts function. Look at that. They would then try to come together, and then the university, its partners in St. Louis County, would submit for another grant, which I'm calling an implementation grant, which is a larger grant that maybe could be used then to possibly reorganize the way the St. Louis municipal courts operate that would bring about positive change and address some of the things that you talked about.
So
let me ask this.
But I cannot jump to what the proposal will say because they're still in the planning process to come up with the application.
Okay, but so don't you find it ironic that this meeting, which was kind of secretively done, wasn't really necessarily open to the public? Let me ask you a question.
No, go ahead.
That the creators of this debtor's prison, this judicial system that's full of racism, these are the authors and the creators of this entire process. And they're in there still trying to calculate and formulate solutions, for everyday people that Frank Vatterott himself, felt was not intelligent enough to participate even in the conversation to come up with solutions that affect them directly. And that is what she is saying, is that there's everyday experiences, from everyday people, and then we're not even allowed to be a part of the conversation because they don't feel that we're intelligent enough.
Right.
And there's, we've got degrees here, but I'm an everyday person that still will not be included in this process. And again, these are the authors of this process that's been going on for decades throughout the region. It's not just in an African American community, because it's been already exposed that the oppression and the systematic
racism that has been
is in areas like Ladue and all those different places when you base it on a percentage of disparities, when you deal with traffic stops and bench warrants and issues like that kind of trap us in a state of oppression. We're not able to, gain any ground financially because we have to pay our debts to the court. And then that's when we get into the issues of bench warrants. And so it's great that these municipal reforms have occurred, but still, again, when you look at the statistics from May to June, in Ferguson alone, being issued 1,000 warrants, it's as if nothing has changed. And so they do need to be abolished, and a new system does need to happen. And the bench warrants that actually came about because of these predatory practices, we're just asking that those amnesty, that they be resolved and that everyone has a fresh start, and then we move forward, past this, hopefully with solutions that's going to positively impact, people of color and those that are disadvantaged and poor, and communities related to that.
Appreciate what you're saying. And I think what I've said very consistently is that this process is doing exactly trying to create the positive change or lead towards the positive change that you're talking about.
But we haven't seen any action for years to demonstrate that anything like that has been done.
But you have to understand, we're not part of the municipal court system. We don't run the court system. What we're trying to do is bring our objective academic expertise from multiple disciplines, criminology, social work, in different areas, to work towards getting a grant to suggest the changes that would hopefully bring about more equity in our court system.
So you're saying that regular citizens have no academic expertise to contribute to this conversation?